I always felt that my relationship with Christ was good enough. I felt like I was a good guy, and I didn't need church. I didn't need Bible. I didn't need to be preached. I was going to get into heaven just the fact that I'm a good guy. Before coming to Journey, I was probably as far away from Christ as I've ever been. I was short-tempered. I would get angry and lash out at whether it was my kids or my wife. I didn't want anything to do with church. I didn't want anything to do with religious people. I was just done. My oldest daughter, Amanda, started coming to Journey with a friend of hers from school. And then a little bit after that, my wife started coming and my youngest daughter started coming. And during that time, they would often come to me and ask me to come to church with them. I would get so angry, I just wanted to be left alone. One Sunday morning, my daughter Emily came home, and she was so happy because she was going to be baptized next Sunday. And she wanted me to be there for her. I agreed that I would be there, but that week was really difficult. I tried to come up with all kinds of excuses not to be here. I even tried to make myself sick, just so I didn't have to come into church. But I ended up coming. That first day, there was one person on that worship team that was singing, and she made me so angry because to me, she was looking right at me and everything that she was singing was about me. And then Pastor Mike started doing his message. In my mind, he kept directing the message to me. And it just made me so mad. And then over the next several weeks, there were times when I would leave church and there would be so much in my head that I would just have to go on these walks just to clear my head. I knew what I needed to do. I was really going through the pains of guilt and being ashamed. In my head, I kept hearing, if they knew where you were and the things that you've done, they would not want anything to do with you. One Sunday, I was in church, and I just had this desire to pray. The worship team started singing, and I wanted to sing along, but I couldn't because I was afraid that if I started singing it, I was going to break down. I kept thinking, you need to get up and get out of here. You need to run. But I couldn't. I literally couldn't move. And then I heard, it's time. And that's when I surrendered. And it was at that moment, it dawned on me that where I came from didn't matter. The things I had done didn't matter. It was my heart right then and there is what mattered. And what I was going to do with this change is what was going to matter. I thought to myself, well, what am I going to do now? Now that I've given my life to Christ, what am I going to do now? And I remember praying and telling him that, look, I'm not going to be able to do this on my own. I need your help. And in my head, I heard him say, I got you. The change was immediate. The biggest change probably was when it came to my family. I remember the first time my wife came to me and asked me a question about the Bible. My daughters seen me reading the Bible. They seen me praying. After I gave my life to Christ, I had this desire to do more. I volunteered to start serving. And then I joined the men's group. And that was probably the biggest, most important step that I could have taken because I don't know where I would have been if I didn't have them men. Satan needed me to be angry. Satan needed me to think that everything was okay, even when it wasn't. There's not one moment of my life with Christ that I would trade for a second of my life before Christ. I understand making that step is a difficult step to take. Quite frankly, it takes a lot of courage. If you're praying for somebody, if you're praying for your spouse or your kids or a coworker or a friend, don't stop praying. My sister, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my wife, my kids, they spent so much time praying for me. I know that at times they had to think that their prayers were being wasted, but they weren't. God hears your prayers. If there's somebody that you love, that you want to see, take that step to Christ. Don't stop praying. Just keep praying.